This is what happened to every single motorcycle Noraly from Itchy Boots has ever owned. From a Ducati she sold to fund her dreams, to a bike now on permanent display in a South African museum, to one that's literally the same age she is. Since 2018, she's covered roughly 190,000 kilometers solo, across about 80 countries on 6 different motorcycles, and each bike's fate reveals something different about what it actually takes to ride around the world. We're starting at the very beginning, before Itchy Boots even existed. Noraly was working as a geologist for an international dredging company in the Netherlands back in 2015, and that same year she got her motorcycle license and picked up a second-hand Ducati Monster 796. This became her daily rider, the bike she'd take out for hours at a time with no destination in mind, always riding alone purely for the love of it. When she decided in 2018 to quit her job and sell her house to travel permanently, the Ducati had to go with it. Her website tells the story plainly: "With pain in my heart, I had to say goodbye to her." That Ducati got sold to help fund what came next, and what came next changed everything. Late 2018 found Noraly in Manali, India, where she rented a white Royal Enfield Himalayan from one of the town's motorcycle shops. Over the next 3 weeks, she pushed that rental bike roughly 3,000 kilometers solo through Ladakh, Jammu, Himachal Pradesh, and the Zanskar Valley, which was her first ever multi-week motorcycle trip and her first time riding off-road. She struggled during that trip, but wrote later that she knew this was going to be her new mode of transport. The rental went back to the shop in Manali, but the experience had completely rewired her thinking. The Itchy Boots YouTube channel launched on November 21, 2018, right after this rental experience, and now she needed her own bike. A brand new white Royal Enfield Himalayan 411 came from a dealership in Delhi in late 2018, and Noraly named her Basanti after what she initially thought was the horse in the 1975 Bollywood film Sholay. Turns out Basanti was actually the heroine who rode the horse, but the name stuck anyway. Season 1 of Itchy Boots made Basanti famous, and Noraly kept adding to the bike as she went along. Leather seat cover, custom protection parts, auxiliary lights, handlebar risers, a Garmin GPS picked up in Thailand, and a loud exhaust, because, as she put it, "For me, the thrill of riding a motorbike is in the sound." The two of them covered 36,000 kilometers through 25 countries over 8 months, starting from India and moving through Nepal, Myanmar, Thailand, and Malaysia before getting airshipped to Oman. From there, they rode through Iran during the floods, with a famous episode where Basanti broke down, becoming a fan favorite, then pushed north through Central Asia, Russia, the Caucasus, the Balkans, and finally back to the Netherlands. That's when things got complicated, because Basanti was built in India and didn't meet European safety and technical homologation standards. Road registration in the Netherlands was impossible. Noraly worked out a deal with Royal Enfield's Dutch distributor, trading Basanti for a brand new Dutch-registered Himalayan, and she said publicly she doesn't know what happened to Basanti after that. One fan commented on her blog that Basanti turned out to be an expensive bike but priceless, and Noraly agreed. The new Dutch-plated Himalayan got named Dano, which is the actual horse from Sholay, correcting the earlier naming mix-up. Dano was set up similarly to Basanti and became the bike for Season 2, Patagonia to Alaska. After getting airshipped to Argentina, Noraly started riding north from Buenos Aires and Ushuaia through Argentina, Chile, Bolivia, and into Peru, and for 5 months everything was going according to plan. COVID-19 changed all that. April 2020 brought closed Peruvian land borders and suspended international flights, forcing Noraly to leave Dano in Lima and fly back to the Netherlands. 8 months of paperwork hell followed as she tried to extract the bike from Peru, and she said that Dano got shipped back just in time to escape confiscation by Peruvian customs. The bike that finally arrived in the Netherlands was, in Noraly's words from her website, "so badly damaged that I cannot ride her anymore." Dano was retired, the Patagonia to Alaska dream was interrupted, and Noraly needed a different plan. Summer 2020 brought Europe's reopening after the first wave of COVID restrictions, and that's when Noraly bought a second-hand Honda CB500X in the Netherlands and named him Ronin, Japanese for a masterless wandering samurai. Ronin starred in Season 3, which covered Northern Europe through Iceland, Denmark, Sweden, and Norway, then Season 4, which was shot largely within the Netherlands during continued pandemic uncertainty. What makes Ronin different from every other bike on this list is simple. Noraly never sold him. Her website confirms that Ronin stays permanently in the Netherlands, so I always have a bike and mode of transport whenever I am visiting my home country. As of 2026, Ronin is still sitting in the Netherlands, waiting for her to come home. Noraly relocated to Johannesburg, South Africa in early 2021 to escape Europe's continued COVID border closures, picked up a second-hand Honda CRF300L locally, and named her Savannah. Quick note here, multiple unofficial fan sites incorrectly call this bike a BMW F850GS, which is wrong. Noraly's own website confirms it was a Honda CRF300L, chosen because the bike was light, reliable, and the most affordable second-hand bike I could find. Season 5, Destination Unknown. Put Savannah center stage for about 6 months as Noraly rode through South Africa, Namibia, Botswana, and Zimbabwe. She even entered her first ever rally, the Kalahari Rally, and during the final stage Savannah's subframe broke, but Noraly finished the rally anyway. Ownership issues with the South African registration paperwork combined with the broken subframe meant Noraly couldn't take Savannah with her when she left, so she made a decision that would preserve Savannah permanently. The bike went to the Motorcycle Museum in Knysna, South Africa, where she's on permanent display. Of all the bikes on this list, Savannah is the only one you can actually go visit. November 2021 brought a brand new 2021 Honda CRF300L Rally purchased in the Netherlands, named Alaska after her destination, then air freighted to Ecuador to resume the interrupted Patagonia to Alaska journey. Season 6, Project Alaska started in Ecuador because Peru's land borders were still closed, and Noraly rode north through Colombia, Central America, Mexico, the United States, and Canada until she reached Prudhoe Bay on the Arctic Ocean in Alaska in late 2022. She describes reaching Alaska as a huge personal milestone, the completion of a journey that had been interrupted 2 years earlier. Alaska got a complete rebuild between Season 6 and 7. New handlebars, new seat, full engine rebuild including new camshaft, replaced worn countershaft, new graphics. Noraly documented the whole thing in a blog post called My Upgraded Honda CRF300L Rally 2.0. The rebuilt Alaska was sea-freighted to Malaga, Spain, and in February 2023, Noraly rode into Morocco to begin Season 7, Return to Africa. She rode down the entire West African coast through Mauritania, Senegal, the Gambia, Guinea, Sierra Leone, Liberia, Côte d'Ivoire, Ghana, Togo, Benin, Nigeria, Cameroon, Gabon, Congo, DR Congo, and Angola, then pushed up through East and Southern Africa, including Zambia, Malawi, Mozambique, and into Tanzania. December 2023 in Nigeria brought what became her most viral episode, showing rogue police officers demanding bribes at a checkpoint, and the video became a national news story in Nigeria. May 2024 brought the end, when Noraly was riding out of Mbeya, Tanzania, on a relatively good unpaved road, hit a small rut, and crashed hard. She broke her collarbone and a foot bone, got rescued by a passing truck, and used her Garmin satellite messenger to call for help. The crash ended Season 7, and back in the Netherlands, surgery to repair the collarbone resulted in a collapsed lung. She's stated publicly that she never really recovered from that complication. Alaska got air freighted back to the Netherlands and retired, with Noraly writing, "My CRF300 Rally got enough beatings, so I retired this bike." As of May 2026, Alaska remains in storage in the Netherlands, not sold, not donated, just resting after everything she'd been through. Noraly started looking for a new bike after the Tanzania crash but kept hitting the same problem. Her website explains, "I struggled to find a bike that wasn't so heavy. Most new adventure bikes are so incredibly heavy nowadays." So instead of buying a new bike, she bought an old one. Early to mid-2025 brought a 1987 Yamaha XT600Z Ténéré, the iconic blue and yellow first-generation Paris-Dakar bike. Noraly emphasizes that the bike was built in 1987, the same year as her birth year, and one source reports the bike is just 5 days older than she is. The bike went to Moritz at Motoritz in Germany for a comprehensive rebuild, essentially a frame-up restoration with modern upgrades, engine rebuild, lighting upgrades, suspension upgrades, modernized luggage system. The build was so extensive that she named the bike Frankie, short for Frankenstein. Frankie stars in Season 8, To the Far East, which launched in 2025 with a first episode titled Nobody expected me to choose this motorcycle to ride around the world. The second episode, We've Created a Monster, Yamaha Tenere 1987, showed Moritz walking through the entire build. Noraly rode Frankie from the Netherlands to Istanbul, then through Turkey, northern Iraq, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and into Pakistan, and as of May 2026, the journey is ongoing with the stated goal of reaching Japan. Her YouTube channel description now reads, "My motorcycle is a 1987 Yamaha Tenere, completely restored and with some amazing modifications. My motorcycle and I are the same age." Here's the complete list. A Ducati sold to fund the dream. A rental that sparked everything. Basanti traded away because of European regulations. Dano destroyed by COVID shipping damage. Ronin kept as the permanent home bike. Savannah now on display in a South African museum. Alaska retired after a crash in Tanzania. And Frankie, a 1987 Yamaha carrying a 1987-born rider into her next chapter. 8 motorcycles with 8 different fates, and running through all of them is Noraly's consistent philosophy about wanting bikes that are light, simple, and mechanically accessible. She stated in interviews that she was a relatively new rider when she set off in 2018 and learned by doing, releasing imperfect early videos because there's never a second take, there's only one take. That same learn-as-you-go philosophy explains why a Dutch geologist is currently riding a motorcycle from 1987 toward Japan in 2026, because sometimes the best bike for riding around the world isn't the newest or the most advanced, but the one that's light enough to pick up, simple enough to fix, and just stubborn enough to keep going when everything else tells you to stop.